All right, so this is a pretty interesting story. Now, it appears that a parent went to a school board meeting, and in order to demonstrate why mask mandates are rational, he actually decided to strip almost entirely naked. Yes, that's right. This parent was going there to actually explain why mask mandates during a pandemic, a global pandemic at that, of like one of the most infectious diseases we've ever seen. Okay, incredibly infectious. And this is how he decided to explain this. So there is video footage of this. I will show you guys this video. We'll come back and talk about it.
That I'm going to not just talk about it, but I'm going to walk the walk. At work, they make me wear this jacket. I hate it. They make me wear this shirt and tie. I hate it. On the way over here, I ran 3 stop signs and 4 red lights. I almost killed somebody out there. But by God, it's my roads too. So I have every right to drive as fast as I want to, make the turns that I want to. I got over here to the school today and the parking lot's full, and I decided I was going to park wherever the hell I want to, which in this case happened to be a handicap. But I really hate my clothes. So it's simple protocol, people. We follow certain rules. We follow certain rules for a very good reason. Can you stop?
Mr. Akers, I understand, I believe you're a swimmer, but if you would mind putting your pants back on for a comment, that would be appreciated. Thank you, we appreciate that. I'm sorry. All right.
So as you guys just saw there, this is in Texas, and a parent decided to strip down almost entirely naked. I think he still had on underwear, and you can see the swimmer comment. I guess he teaches swim at this school, and you could even see like whoever the security guy was, like gave him a fist bump. I don't know if you caught that part, but basically what this guy was attempting to do was is he was trying to explain to the school board, and it says, a Texas parent on Monday took off his clothing during a school board meeting to make a point regarding social norms and the need for mask mandates. James Akers spoke at the Dripping Springs Independent School District Board meeting on Monday, telling the board that he has been a resident of the Central Texas town for 15 years, has sent 3 children through the school district, and still has 1 more in high school. As KVUE reported, the Dripping Springs Independent School District decided it would make masks optional for the 2022 academic year to comply with Texas Governor Greg Abbott's ban on mask mandates. It's a rural town 30 miles west of Austin. I'm here to say that I do not like government or any other entity. Just ask my wife, tell me what to do. But sometimes I got to push the envelope a little bit. And I just decided that I'm going to not just talk about it, but I'm going to walk the walk. So what he ended up doing is he ended up basically stripping almost entirely naked. And he was also facetiously making comments about how he decided to run red lights and park wherever he wanted, even though all the parking spots were taken, because it's his God-given right. It's the God-given roads all of that kind of stuff. And this is something that a lot of people have been doing. You obviously have to wear clothes outside and to go places. I think most businesses have like a no shoes, no shirt rule. So there are all these rules. You have to follow the rules of the road. You have to stop at a stop sign, stop at a red light. So the idea is, if we're in a global pandemic, why would something as simple as wearing a mask being a requirement during a deadly pandemic that's global and is the most transmissible thing we've seen, one of the most transmissible disease we've seen, why would that not be rational and normal in these times? So I guess he's trying to explain that, hey, we have these social norms of you have to wear clothes, you have to, you have the God-given right to express yourself how you want, but you got to wear clothes. You have to follow the rules of the road. You can't just run stop signs. You can't just drunk drive. And again, there's this very perverted idea of freedom, which is that this is a fake version of freedom, by the way. This is a perverted one that was not real. It was not something of how it was created. American freedom, since its inception, has essentially been, at least since the Constitution. I don't know about the the thing before that. But when it came to a Constitution, it was always very clear that your freedom ends once it impinges upon someone else's freedom. So during a pandemic with something like this, if you are to not mask, not get vaccinated, things of that nature, you are impeding on other people's freedoms to take actions because you're putting them in danger. The same way that you're not allowed to drink and drive because you're putting other people's freedom to drive at risk because you are not following the rules. So it's the same concept. And so that's always how it's been. So it means that the constitutionality, and you can look at the judicial precedent and record of these things, forced quarantines, forced vaccinations via penalty, all of these things are vaccine passports is like even the most settled. All of these things have been settled by precedent in the Supreme Court. So if the current judges were to go off of stare decisis, it would be very clearly in favor of all of those things. So this is what freedom is, okay? Freedom is you have the freedom to do things within a reasonable limit, okay? It's not true that it's a free country and that everything you can do is just free. There's rules in literally everything you do in America, and we accept them. But when there's a global pandemic, a mask mandate is somehow not acceptable, as there's literally an extremely infectious disease that's killed hundreds of thousands and is going into over 1 million just in the United States. So it doesn't really make sense. So he's trying to essentially demonstrate this by not only facetiously, basically comparing this and analogizing it to, things like breaking the rules of the law by running stop signs, but also by then, stripping himself naked, essentially. So I thought it was an interesting one. It's an interesting way to illustrate what he was trying to do and to demonstrate and communicate what it is that he was actually trying to say. This is, as of right now, it's going pretty viral. It's actually yesterday. It's right now the second most popular article over on the Hill's website. It was previously number 1, so it definitely seems to be getting some steam. I don't know how much attention it's getting over on other websites and social media and things like that as well. But it is cool to see this going down in Texas. It's pretty interesting to see the way that he has decided to communicate what exactly it is that he's trying to communicate. And there are a lot of battles going on between local governments, school districts, and the state government, more specifically the state executive being the governor. So DeSantis just lost a lawsuit saying that the judge ruled that he can't ban mask mandates from local governments. So there's a lot of that going on. The same thing I think happened to Greg Abbott's ban, but then I think it went to the Texas Supreme Court, and then I think unfortunately that they overturned it at the end.